Adventures in Investing basically is a series in which I am not a financial planner. So I'm in a position to give people information that I have learned and that I have done all my life, which has to do with how to manage your own money. And so because I am not in the business, I don't have a conflict of interest in giving you information that's going to benefit me. And that's why I've been doing it for like 20 years. And to me, it's a passion because I have been extremely blessed in life. I have been able to invest money and in a position where I have been able to live on my portfolio since 1991. So I think it's part of my responsibility to give back to the community. And this is what I do, is I share what I have learned and what I do so that you can pick and choose the information to help yourself do better with your investments. That's basically what it is. There's 7 classes in the series. And they start out with, basically the overview of the class is that there's 3 things you need to do to be successful in investing. Number 1 is you have to have low expenses. Number 2, you have to learn to invest tax efficiently. And so those 2 things are important because the long-term return you get on investments is not the year-to-year return that's important. What's important is the compounded return. And everything you pay in expenses, everything you pay in taxes, directly is taken away from compounding. So consequently, that's very important. Then the next thing is that you have to have diversified investments, meaning you have to have investments that are spread out to reduce the risk of what you're doing, and you have to have investments in the bond market and the stock market. And the amount that you put into those things is called your asset allocation. And so you have to understand historical returns based on these 2 assets and create a strategy in which you balance that out to reach your goals. So that's the 3 things, is asset allocation, expenses, and tax efficiency. And so over the course of the 7 lessons, we talk about that and a lot more. We're in right now. For instance, we've had, in the last month, a lot of selling in the stock market. And so people get very nervous and oftentimes will panic and move into cash, which is an obvious mistake, but it's an emotional decision. One of the things that we do in this class is we teach you about what makes the stock market move. And I was thinking about this the other day because when I first started doing this 20 years ago, holy cow, when we had periods like this, my phone would be off the hook. People calling me, asking me, what's going on? What should I be doing? You know, I haven't gotten any calls. That is to me a sign that so many people have taken the class and learned that what's going on right now is normal. And the worst thing you can do if you have low expenses, you are tax efficient, and you have the right asset allocation for your goals, there's nothing you should be doing. They start January 9th at 6 p.m. and at the Oshkosh Senior Center. And they'll be every Wednesday for 7 weeks till February 20th. And I really need to emphasize, it's at the Senior Center, but it's for all ages. I've kind of condensed it down because I used to do it at Oshkosh North Auditorium and the Senior Center, and that's kind of like a duplication of my time, and so I wanted to be more efficient. And they have a great facility at the Oshkosh Senior Center with the technology I can use, because I do a class where we show how to go to places like Vanguard on their websites. And so I talked to Jane Wells, and she thought it would be a great idea. They're opening up in an evening for me. And so I'm going to do it at the Senior Center to try that out. One resource that I have is a Facebook page called Adventures in Investing. You can go to that. I post the times and dates of the classes. Otherwise, basically talk to anybody that's come to the class. And if you do that, I guarantee you'll probably want to come. The class starts on Wednesday, January 9th at 6 p.m. The classes are free. There's no charge. I never take any money for what I do. And they will run every Wednesday until February 20th. So it probably would be a good idea to call the senior center and say you're coming, because then you're sure that they know how many people are coming. But I really encourage everyone to come because it's important.
Oshkosh Today was supported in part by the Friends of OCM, Aurora Healthcare, 855 Northwest Haven Drive. Set design provided by House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard.